Well, with unemployment at an all-time low, some states are looking into lowering the restrictions on child labor. Scott Mitchell is joined by Leslie Osborn in this morning's segment of The Hot Seat.
And good morning. Welcome to The Hot Seat. I'm Scott Mitchell. This is Oklahoma's Labor Commissioner, Leslie Osborn. Good to see you,
Hello.
Commissioner.
Good to see you.
For those of you who remember, she was a panelist on Your Vote Counts for many years, and those were some good old days.
Thoroughly enjoyed it with Richard Morissette and then Jason Dunnington.
That's exactly right. Henny Penny, the sky is falling. You like that one, Richard? Okay, let's start with, we tell people, watch these interims. There's a lot of things that happen in interims. The media doesn't focus on them as much as they do during the session. You've had one that's I'm interested in, which it deals with labor laws, specifically child labor, and I'm wondering, how did that come about and why?
So we had a conversation with Representative Judd Strom from the Bartlesville area and had seen that in the last year, a lot of states were trying to weaken their child labor laws to solve their workforce problems and to actually encourage kids 14 to 17 to be working more hours, and they had to go against federal law to do that. And our concern is that that's not the best pathway for our kids. They're already able to work quite a few hours when they're 16 and 17, no limits. It's federal law since 1938. But to try to figure out to solve our problems on the back of children, because it encourages high school dropouts. It encourages them then to feel like they're making a contribution to their family, but then they're doomed to a life of low wages. And we would prefer to see them go through the career tech system or something where they're doing on-the-site work, like apprenticeships and those kind of things, still contributing to the family, but there's no reason to loosen those child labor laws.
Okay, so your first statement, let me unpack a couple of things there. Number one, states are looking at this for their workforce problems. What are the workforce problems?
So we don't have enough warm bodies to fill the jobs.
Okay.
And it's real. And in Oklahoma, you know, we're hovering at very low unemployment. So we just don't have enough people. Our contention is there's multiple pools of people not being utilized besides children to fill that. Women of childbearing years. Over half of our counties are child care deserts. They have one slot for every 10 that are needed. So if you have children, a lot of times you are not able to work. Former felons, 1 out of 9 adults in Oklahoma has a felony conviction in their past. If you're a business that doesn't hire second chance, you've just lost 10% of your applicant pool. Immigrants that have been here for decades, have children in our school system that don't have the proper ID because of immigration to go get into a plumbing program or electrician's program. Those are the pools of people we should be utilizing instead of trying to solve this problem on the back of children.
Okay, so let me follow up on that one by asking this. People were looking at, states looking at children. Why is there a workforce problem? I've not ever really heard a reason as to post-COVID. Why?
Well, I think it's a couple of things. For instance, in Oklahoma, let's look at the child care problem, which is a huge issue. Most of the people in the rural counties that had child care, it was with the grandmother at the Methodist Church that watched her 2 grandkids and 3 others. During COVID, we had the second highest death rate in the nation, particularly in elderly. And so we lost a lot of those elderly citizens that did that. In the cities, you know, the bigger cities, you see the chains, kinder care, you know, where big churches will have after school. But in rural, our 75 rural counties, that was not the case. Secondly, they were scared during COVID, so they quit doing what they were doing because children are little petri dishes and they were afraid. Those have never really opened back up.
A final question would be, when you were in the legislature, you were in leadership, A and B chair for a long time. Do you think that executive branch, legislative branch understand the concerns you're talking about that you think big companies are concerned about Oklahoma?
I think that some of them do. I think they do. But I think that they get a lot of pressure. Right now, we live in a time where people want that 30-minute snapshot on Sean Hannity's show. If they run a drag show bill, they're going to get the attention. It's going to appeal to their loudest, squeakiest constituents. But at the end of the day, the average citizen, when you ask, wants less potholes. And they want better infrastructure. And they want to make sure that if Uncle Billy needs a mental health care bed, he doesn't have to live on their couch. That's the kind of thing we have to get past the sexy mindset of getting a slot on a Newsmax show and doing the work that really matters. And right now, we're having a difficult time doing that in Oklahoma.
Commissioner Leslie Osborn, Labor Commissioner of Oklahoma. It's always good to see you.
Thank you.
You're
Same
an
here.
alum here, and you can come back anytime.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for watching Hot Seat. See this again at news9.com and newson6.com/Your Vote Council. Follow me on socials at Mitchell Talks.